Hello, this is George, and you are tuned in to Campus Life Now with Radio Forward. I'm here with Markle and Doris, and they are going to talk about the Latin Dance Club here at U of T Scarborough. So would you please introduce yourselves?
Thanks for inviting us to this podcast. My name is Markle. I'm currently in my 5th year studying new media studies and studio arts. I just generally really like Latin dance, so I sort of started this initiative.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Doris, and I'm currently as the VP of the marketing in our club. And I'm in my 4th year. My major are new media and arts management. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So for our first question, I'm going to ask you, what's your relationship with Latin dance and Latin culture?
So just speaking of dance, I actually started dancing when I was 6. And then when I come to Toronto for university, it's really like a random occasion that my friends discovered there's something called social dancing. Is like an event in like Latin dance community, I think all around the world, but they have like a community like that in Toronto. So we just go there and we discovered this like big group of people dancing salsa and bachata, and I was so like captivated and I want to learn more. So I started learning salsa bachata like from 2 years ago till now.
Cool.
What about you?
I think, Margaret, you know this. So my reason for me is I got into because of Marco. I remember that day we were chilling before classes. I was looking at the pamphlet of the classes, and I saw Latin dance. And Marco said, "Oh, I'm instructor in that course." I was just so surprised. So that's why I tried Latin dance and got into it.
Yeah, I sort of dragged her into my class.
Dragged.
Cool. And what inspired you to bring Latin dance to UTSC?
Okay, so that traced back to because how do I put this? Because when I do Latin dance and when I either in classes or in socials, I found so much joy. And it's so easy to connect with people. So one thing about social dancing or just the class structure in general is that you get to dance with different people all the time in the class. So it would be in the classroom, and in the center normally is the instructors would be like one male, one female as a pair. And you literally just grab anyone and you pair up and dance with each other and learn from the instructors from the center. And the instructors will say, high five and rotate every 5 minutes. So literally every 5 minutes you're dancing with different people, learning different moves. And so it's like, it feels really natural for, make friends and network with people, because every time I rotate to a new person, I would say, hi, my name is Marco. What's your name? What brought you here? How long have you been dancing? And so you just make friends really naturally. And I think that's something university students really look forward to find friends and connections. And as social dancing is where time that you can just invite anyone you want to dance with under a song or two. And I just find that it's so much joy. So I'm just thinking maybe I could take what I experienced from the downtown community in general in Toronto to UTSC campus.
Great.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. I think the people I met in then whatever it is, dance class or social, are the most friendly person I have met. I have to admit that. Yeah, they're so easy to talk to and they're so friendly, whatever level you are. And I think it's a really good place to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's generally really welcoming and friendly environment.
Yeah.
That's great. When, where, and how does your initiative run? Is it a class or is it more freeform?
So before the club started, I was, as Doris mentioned, I was the instructors in Pan Am under the Latin dance classes with Jonathan, which is another instructor. So I started teaching with him, I think 2 semesters ago. And from there, I discovered that I actually enjoy teaching some basic steps from what I know to new people who never been in touch with Latin dances before. And since like we're doing weekly classes, it is so easy to build a community. So at the end, actually, we started a WhatsApp group. We're taking everybody from the classroom to the downtown socials. So I'm thinking, why not just expand a bigger community out of there? Why don't we promote this even more from what we have now? So like last semester, I started this club because I wanted to reinforce it better and we can actually throw social events on campus.
Mm-hmm. Are there specific Latin American cultural elements that you try to emphasize in the club's teaching?
Can you be more specific on cultural elements, for example? Like,
Types of music, types of dance moves.
Okay, for that, yes, of course, because dance is so tightly connected to music, and salsa, bachata itself are like music genres too. And for people who just get in touch with salsa, bachata, we always like encourage them to listen to those type of music more. So once you get into it, there's like different kind of salsas, there's different kind of bachatas, and you get to know who are the most famous artists who produce those type of music. And once you hear more, you understand the beats more. And then regarding for dance moves, there are so many crazy dance moves names and different type of dance, even just under this category of salsa bachata. Bachata, there is like sensual bachata, traditional bachata, and there's also a combination from bachata and kizomba, and there's so many other different like dance genres, just really fun. And once you dive deeper, you get to like learn about it more and more and more. And sometimes in the classes, we will explain the names of this move and how we can connect it.
That's great. What's a memorable moment you've had while dancing with the club?
I would say it's our first. I would say it's our first event. We throw our first ever socials on the Valentine's Day. And to be honest, I was pretty nervous, though I do have a lot of event planning experiences, but it's my first time throwing this type of event on campus to pretty much to people who never experienced socials before. So there's some adaptations of the timing schedules, because normally a social should be running from 8 p.m. to like 3 a.m. But I wouldn't say that UTSC students will have those time and energy to stay in campus for that long. So we adjusted from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then we sort of extended the classes times because we want to teach both salsa and bachata. And it's actually really fun events. It turned out better than I expected. There's like around 40 to 50 people showing up, and our music equipments are really on point, and the vibe is just like really vibing. I feel like a lot of people have fun. Yeah, and this is something I wish to see more in our future like events.
I think it's really great that you cultivate your initiative to be welcoming to people who have no experience with Latin dance.
Yeah.
What do you want for your initiative's future?
So unfortunately, me and Doris are both graduating.
Oh man,
I know. We're both graduating, but we already like built a whole team, and we also kind of selected our next president. Unfortunately, he cannot be there, but he's a really great dancer as well. So in the future, what I really want to see is that definitely more regular socials on UTSC campus. We actually was so close to do a collaboration with the Radio Forward and SSU to host a dance social at Bistro under the Student Center. But because of time constraint, and now it's final, it's kind of hard to do it this semester. So I probably wish the next term, the new team can do it. And also like I have connections with the Salsa Bachata dance group in downtown and in Mississauga. And everybody just so nice and so easy to talk to. So I'm thinking maybe all three campuses dance clubs could collaborate something together, either making like a showcase or making like a social. And there's so many different ideas of such as like there are people suggesting us to build our own dance performance teams because there's so many performances opportunities on campus, such as like homecoming, and there's there's so many galas, and you can like literally just perform what you have. And this is actually something we did. So I gathered another person from UTM Salsa Bachata Club and two of my other friends who do Latin dances. And we formed together, choreographed our own routine, and we did a performance at a Heart House Festival Dance.
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, so we want to like keep continuing doing all this kind of stuff.
Great. Yeah, it seems like something that really makes a lot of people's lives better.
Okay.
For my last question, what's your go-to Latin song that always makes you want to dance?
Oh my God.
Too many choices.
Yeah, I just, to be honest, the last 2 years, everything I listen to is all Spanish music, all Latin music. I would say a lot of reggaeton and bachata. Those two are my favorite. I love salsa too. I just prefer reggaeton and bachata better. I cannot give you specific names, but like artists in reggaeton such as Bad Bunny, Joe Bavin, Daddy Yankee, everybody knows him. Like etc. etc. There's so many good artists, and in bachata there's Romeo Santos, which is big deal. Everybody knows him if you dance bachata, and Prince Royce. I also like Johnny Sky. So like there's so many artists that I'm super interested in. I just nonstop listen to those type of music. What about you, Doris?
Okay, those things you just mentioned, I know none of them. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you just started your journey. It's fine.
Yeah, so for me, I think what's different from Marco is I listen more to hip hop song or pop song. The one thing I noticed is every pop song, like the hit song, have a version of bachata
Yeah.
or salsa. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to love Spanish songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can dance to whatever song.
Yeah, there's a lot of like English songs and they add bachata beats to it.
That's
and people
great to
dance
know.
those kind of songs in socials too. Yeah, it's pretty. It's like, because I feel like bachata now is getting more trendy and out of like Latin people's socials, and everybody else started to do it. So they kind of like infuse a lot of English songs with it. Yeah.
Very cool. How can someone with no dance experience get started in the club?
I feel like I'm put on the spot.
That's what a podcast is.
Yes. Get closer to the mic. Yeah.
The journey, the mental journey.
Yeah.
I think at first I have no idea, generally no idea of a Latin dance, and put it this way, I have no interest. even if like if Marco is not there, I won't get into Latin dance at all in my life, I think, if you put it this way. But I think once I got into this, I attend the first class. I think one thing about Latin dance is, I think the most special about it is it takes two people to dance. And I think, and they gotta rotate. You can experience everyone is so different. Everyone got different style, different moves, and it's like it's kind of getting to know people from the moves and how they dance, how they vibe with you, that kind of things. And yeah.
How is it like from first class to first social?
First social. Oh my
Yeah.
God, first social was so scary.
Why?
Because there's full of people in the room,
Yeah.
in a small room, and everybody is just running in a circle. And there's all type of age range and all type of people. Just so. And I think all the activities, no matter where it is, the Latin dance is all like beginners friendly. No matter where I go to, it is surprising that there's no boundary for that.
Yeah.
No matter this is a class or this like social, the social thing they have. So there's a dancer that's so skilled, like have dancing for decades, and there's dancer for like you
Yeah.
can tell they're still beginners, but there's no judgment there. There's no judgment between anyone. Yeah, I think this is one thing I found special about Latin dance. Yeah.
Yeah, and just add on more information. Before social, every social is like there will be 1 to 2 hours of workshops or classes just for beginners, just in case you don't know anything. But we are here to teach you basic moves, so you can at least have some fun after the classes when it comes to social dancing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think being afraid of judgment is the biggest barrier towards someone like me who has also no experience with Latin dance. The biggest barrier to joining something like Latin Dance Club here at UTSC.
Yeah, we're totally beginner friendly. It also reminded me of a thing we did last semester with the dance classes. At the final class is also for one of my art projects. But we shut off all the lights in the dance studio and we give people like neon wristbands and necklaces. And it's like once you crack it, it will glow, right? So you can just only see the form of the body and you can only rely on how your body feels instead of how you view the other person or how you see yourself in the mirror. So it's truly like where I think dancing is like what dance means to people is like you listen to music and you flow with the body and that's it. Like everything is about being immersive in this experiences instead of feeling that you need to be perfect in all these moves and you need to be like flawless. Yeah, so I think those kind of like mindsets would drive you nuts if you want to get started into dancing scene, especially in Latin dance. So like be relaxed and have fun is the number one like mindset I would recommend everybody to have.
Be relaxed and have fun.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any more questions, so
I got a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Okay, so basically you guys are knowledgeable in like all forms of Latin dance, correct?
Not
What-
for me.
What do you mean? Like,
So you know there's like a few like salsa, there's merengue, there's zouk or rumba, like you guys pretty much know the dances, right? Technically?
yeah, for me, the ones you mentioned, I know salsa, bachata, a little bit kizomba, merengue, and reggaeton.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little game.
Oh,
It's called Would You Rather.
okay.
All right? And you guys both give an answer. Okay, so the first round is salsa versus bachata.
Bachata.
Bachata? Okay.
Yes.
Why?
I think
Okay.
especially for beginners, they will love bachata more. It's
Yeah, just
slower.
explain more. Salsa is really fast paced and is really technical in a way. I'm trying to stand at a more objective perspective because I just love bachata more. But it's like salsa is a vibe that is joyful and celebrative and festival. But bachata is something I would say more intimate, more sensual, even a little bit more romantic, as you say. But it depends on what kind of bachata you dance. Traditional bachata is upbeat as well. But just the beats differences makes bachata slower and easier to step on. Salsa, there's a lot of like little beats here and there, and if you're not really good at catching on musicality, you feel like you're kind of, oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, so people tend to feel a bit discouraged. But there's also a lot of people who naturally found salsa better, easier to learn. So it really depends on personal preferences. Yeah.
All right. Now my next one is merengue versus reggaeton.
Reggaeton. Have you danced merengue before?
What was the last? Do you remember the time that what was the ending of the social? What was that type of dance that you were dancing? You guys were dancing, like you and the girl, your friend.
Oh,
That
wait, is it like this?
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's merengue. Merengue is like really, it just literally step left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So it's upbeat and fun too. But I definitely love reggaeton.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up. So you guys both pick reggaeton?
I have no idea.
I feel like I
Maybe.
feel like you didn't really dance those two dances, but just based on music though.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, never mind.
Just pass.
Okay, you can pass, no problem.
Okay.
The next one is Colombia versus Zouk.
Colombia salsa.
It says cumbia, originally from Colombia, folkloric with a bouncy swing, popular all over Latin America.
Wait, is the dance only called Colombia?
It's called cumbia, Cumbia. Cumbia.
I feel like I never danced that type of dances, to
I
be
never
honest.
even heard of it.
What's the second option?
Zouk.
Zouk. Okay, not gonna lie, I didn't dance Zouk a lot, but I see it. It's like there's, I don't know if I interpret it wrong, but there's one type of it is super, super slow, and people get super, super close with each other. It's not really my forte. But then there's also like, there's a lot of artists that infuse Zouk moves in bachata and actually makes it really beautiful. So I think it depends on how you dance it, but personally, I never really practiced both.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we pass? Mm-hmm. All right.
Pass.
The next one is cha-cha versus rumba.
I would say I prefer cha-cha because I danced cha-cha before and it's really fun. And it reminds me of salsa, but with more fluidity. Yeah.
Okay.
Pass.
Pass.
Sorry.
You're the rookie, huh? Next one is samba versus peso doble.
Okay, I never danced those.
Me neither. I haven't heard of them. I heard of samba before.
Samba, I heard of it, but I never danced it.
All right. And the wild card is tango versus kizumba.
These are two completely different dances. Tango is like really hard. Like in my mind, I have like categorizations for example, like ballroom, cha-cha, and also the one you just mentioned, tango, is really hard and requires really a lot of training and techniques that you probably requires you to be in it at a young age. But salsa, bachata, or kizumba, zouk, merengue, all those things we mentioned are more like, how do you say that? Cultural context is like everybody can dance those kind of dances in Latin America. People dance those things in family reunions and festivals and events. But the ones I mentioned for tango, ballroom, those are really like competitive dancing and it's really professional in a sense. I never done those, but I do have a friend who's done like ballroom. I feel like it's kind of like a different system there. Yeah.
What about you? You pass again? I'm giving you guys' cultural background. I don't want to assume. What is you guys' background?
We're both Chinese.
Chinese. Why not delve into maybe like Chinese dancing?
Okay, that's...
Unless you have, and I don't know, right?
So when I mentioned I danced since a young age, I started dance from 6. I actually learned Chinese folk dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me
And
too.
I dance. Oh, you do? Nice.
Really? Look at that. We learn something new every day. That's dope.
But it was so young, and you just like kind of your parents force you to.
Well, for me, it's like my mom want me to overcome like stage fright and want me to be more confident. And I get into it, but I danced like 6 years and I loved it. Is Chinese folk dance, more context is that, so there's 56 minority ethnic groups in China, and Chinese folk dance are literally dances from all these different like ethnic groups and cultures. So it's not really like mainstream like Mandarin Chinese or Han ethnic Chinese dance. So like from there, I actually get to learn so many different types of like forms of dances from different cultures, even though we call it Chinese folk dance. And why not delve further in that is because I didn't really dance much of a Chinese folk dance now. And also those type of dances requires so much training too. Because over those 6 years, you have no idea what kind of pain and suffer I've been through because there's a foundation works you need to do. You literally need to fold yourself in half to practice like flexibilities. I don't think a lot of people can do that. It's like something with a really high barrier, as I mentioned. And Latin dance, it's like casual and fun. And as long as you put more work into it, you can get instantly better. And it's like, and I feel like salsa bachata are also a form of like socializing and network, but you normally don't really get that if you practice like really professional dance forms.
Okay. So you're saying like, I guess the Chinese dance style is more competitive than the Latin dance style where it's more
I would just
relaxed,
say it's
Technical.
harder to learn.
harder to learn? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. I'm happy that dance is you guys' form of outlet. Because everybody needs to have some sort of outlet.
Yeah.
And dance is such a good lose weight. You get fit and it's fun. It's dope. That's all for me.
Thank
Back
you.
to you, George.
Yeah, dancing is fun and a great form of expression. Would you like to shout out the socials of the club now?
Handle is Latin Dance _UTSC. And you can see our little logo is like a red background. So I think it's pretty obvious that you can find it. So how we run this club is like we do weekly classes in Pan Am, and we occasionally have socials. I'm wishing to be like monthly or bi-monthly socials. And if for like special events, I want it to be like big socials or workshops, because I do know a lot of really talented people and instructors from downtown, and we can invite them just for like 1 to 2 hour special workshops. Because there's so much things you can teach about like salsa bachata, not just the moves. You could also teach about certain technique. You can teach about social etiquette. You can teach about styling. It's like everything all from different perspective that you can like practice better for your dancing. So maybe those and yeah, right. I think that's what our club is about.
What day of the week does it run?
It would depends on the new schedule. So I would say you guys can check it around August or September and recreation.utoronto.ca. So there's a category called activities or recreations. You click into them. There's dance, and you click into dance. There's Latin dance, and then you can find the schedules in it.
Sounds great. You guys should totally get involved with this wonderful club, especially if you're a first year looking to make some friends, because as they said, people in this club are very friendly. And so with that...
And you also totally don't need to be a Latino or Latina to join, since you see here we're not Latinas. But and I just want to say, like, Latin dance community is so inclusive too. As Doris mentioned, regardless of what your age is, like there's literally like people from, I think from 18 to 50, even 60 people like dance there in the big room. All different type of races, all different type of like ages. It doesn't matter. So if you want to join, feel really welcoming.
Yeah, and with that, that is our podcast. Thank you, Markle and Doris. Tune in next time on Campus Life Now with Radio Forward.
Good morning.